Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Thank you to each and every one of you. Post-separation. Thank you for the advice. Even though I have never posted, I left a year ago. I have found strength here. Today is my 23rd wedding anniversary. I am by myself, but not alone. Congratulations on your first anniversary without a cheater. Thank you. You're welcome. Hang in there. You are stronger and healthier alone than you would be with a cheating partner. It's not an easy day. I'm binge watching TV and eating French fries. Healthy can return tomorrow. Thank you. I suspect a lot of us lurk on web pages, trying to make sense of what has happened to us. I am sorry you are one of our tribe, and I wish you all the best. I have found online interactions to be both helpful and hurtful. Some forums are so fraught with pain that I cannot bear to participate, others are so filled with anger that they make me angrier. Hard to believe that is possible, but it is. Some help simply by sharing the experience and offering support. I hope you find the support you need. I am sorry that you are one of us as well. I share your experiences. This sub feels better to me than many others. Wow, good to hear this. Congratulations, clapping hands, wishing you all the best. God bless. You have mentioned that you are not alone, so that means you found your soulmate. Good partner? If yes, I am so happy for you. Please do post your story here so that others get motivated to change for good and have hope for better times. Thank you. Haven't found a partner. I know that I am not ready. FWBs aren't my thing. I'm a bit older and old-fashioned, I guess. I'm trying to put myself out there and build platonic relationships with good people. I also have a few thousand anonymous friends like you in this sub. Now you can go anywhere in the world, Americas. It's exhilarating. And scary. She cheated and I thought we were a success story. Rant. I posted here about what would have been our 23rd wedding anniversary last Sunday, but I've never shared my story. Someone who left a nice comment there encouraged me to share. So here goes. My wife and I met in college, got married after grad school, and had 2 beautiful children together. There were some issues, but life together was generally very good. 3 years ago we were sitting at the kitchen table during tax season. We were discussing finances, not just the monthly budget but the big stuff. I found it a bit odd that she was texting during such an important conversation. It wasn't texting the kids, they were both home. To this day, I have no idea what compelled me to snatch her phone from her hand mid-text. I had never suspected a thing, at least consciously. A look of horror immediately came over her, so I darted into the other room with the phone and locked the door. The text string was about planning a weekend in Vegas with her AP. I was blown away. She was banging on the door, yelling and sobbing. I texted the guy pretending to be her. I wrote something like, "I can't wait to be between the sheets with you again." His response affirmed that they were sleeping together. While locked in the room, I called my brother. He came over and convinced my wife to stay with him for a few days. Drama naturally ensued, but after a couple of months of me living on the boat, we decided to try to reconcile. We had weekly therapy sessions together and alone. We each went to 2 sessions a week for about a year. Some ground rules were set. One rule was that she was never to contact AP again. It wasn't a sacrifice as she had no professional or social connections with him other than the affair. It was a real grind. I had strong emotions of anger, fear, pain, hopefulness, and despair. Gradually, things started to arrive at a new normal. I started enjoying life with her again. I thought that we were a success story. I used to run a search for AP's phone number in our phone provider's call log often, with her knowledge. I did the search less and less as time went on. About a year ago, again without suspicion, I ran the search and there it was. 2 minutes long calls between them and then 2 calls that were over 30 minutes each. I called AP's number and the voicemail announced his name. I felt that it would be ill-advised for me to leave a recording of my thoughts for him, so I hung up. I was crushed. All of the regained trust evaporated instantly. I laid the groundwork by quietly moving some money around, changing passwords, retaining a lawyer, and securing a place to live. After that, I confronted her. I told her that she had broken the ground rule and that I would be leaving and filing for divorce. I went on to say that there was nothing that she could say or do that would change my mind and that discussion on the matter was pointless. Of course, drama ensued. I've been gone for about a year now. We co-parent well and the divorce process has gone smoothly. Our children are well and mostly happy. I guess those are successes. Can I assume that the AP dropped her like a hot rock as soon as he found out that she was available full-time? They always do. Haven't heard his name so much as spoken. So yeah, probably. Lol. Yeah, the AP typically knows they are married and knows that the woman is nothing but heartache outside of a fling. Yup. He was fully aware that she was married. And a lot of times they don't want a ready-made family with kids dropping into their laps. Yup, I have seen it multiple times. It typically always plays out like that. The AP either knows and is viewing her as an easy fling or doesn't know and won't go near her when he finds out she lied. If the guy does try and date them, they are typically both messed up people and it fails. Then there's my ex-wife's AP who was a doctor. And immediately let her move in with him, and then married her 2 years later. We didn't have kids, but what a moron, smiley face. I've seen those fail more often than not. Lived in a fairly nice neighborhood for a large portion of my life, 15 to 22, and my parents lived there until a year ago. I'm 37 now. We'd see lots of doctor neighbors leave their spouses for a nurse or something. Few years later they leave their current spouse for another nurse or something. Oh yeah, doctors are pretty good at rotating women in and out of their lives. Due to the nature of their job, they also just don't have a lot of the same emotional capacity as most people. Her AP was cheating on her a month after our divorce was final. Was surprised to hear they were married. We went to a small college together, so I heard stuff through the grapevine. They actually just had a baby recently as well. Should make things interesting, can't be selfish when it comes to parenting. The prospect of fortune will make some people put up with a ton of bad behavior. I've seen that as well. The ironic thing is, most doctors are terrible at managing money. They have the mentality that they will always make big bucks, so they often blow nearly everything they make. Many live paycheck to paycheck and have a ton of financial problems. Typically when divorce happens, there is nothing but a mountain of debt and very little in the way of real assets. However, because he's got that big income, he can do more than most. Oh, and I'm friends with an extremely wealthy man. We are talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. He divorced his wife about 12 years ago. Shortly after, the nanny was divorcing her husband. Guess who became a couple? Nanny started dating the rich dude who's obese. Nanny's ex-husband was destroyed by it, and it took him years to heal. Fast forward 10 years or so, Nanny has figured out that the rich guy will never marry again. One costly divorce was enough. So if she wants the gravy train, she has to stay with him and cater to his every desire. Apparently he's not the greatest guy either. Her ex-husband's business took off. He's not worth hundreds of millions, but he's bringing home a few $100,000 a year. He met a fairly awesome woman. She won't show it, but she is miserable and figuring out money is not all it's cracked up to be. I think she is also more destroyed by the fact that if she had waited a few years, she could have the material BS and the love of her life with an awesome dude who cherished her. She got extremely flirty with me a few months ago. I shot that down instantly. No thanks on numerous levels. Oh karma, it's amazing when you get to see it. Yeah, I'm in a career role where I look at financials of people on a weekly basis. I can't tell you how many times I look at someone in their 40s that's a doctor and still has plus $250,000 in student loan debt. As a doctor, live like you make $75,000 and you could have that paid off in no time. It's just crazy to me to see how much people overlook stuff in others for love. I might really like someone and be attracted to them, but if I find out they're a serial cheater, treat their friends like shit, low morals, etc., probably not going to want to get heavily involved with that person. Pretty easy decision. I know so many couples, I hear they fight all the time, the wife never wears her ring, boom, before you know it they have a baby announcement. Or, the girlfriend finds out at 27 her BF has been cheating on her on his work travels. 3 months later, engaged. Some people are so scared of being alone, or think there's no time to find another before being too old for kids. Is it really worth it to be miserable with someone for the next 50 years? Or divorce later down the road once there's kids involved? I was 29 when I divorced my wife. I waited 5 years, but finally found someone that is great. Values friends and family, great morals, super supportive, wants the same things in life. Patience works out. It's good to be alone sometimes to figure out what we want and need, make sure we're happy with ourselves before getting involved with someone else. Sorry I have a lot going on at work. I know that comment was all over the place, haha. Doctors are pretty good at rotating women. Is that what they call it as the nurse rotation in the hospitals? Could be. Your story has made me cry. I am so sorry. Thank you. I have come to appreciate crying. I am so sorry this happened to you. Did you and your ex meet in college or high school? I've been reading these threads to try and understand what happened to me and an ex-GF about 20 years ago. We had been dating for 4.5 years and living together for about 3. Then I discovered her affairs. When I read stories like yours, my heart literally breaks. I physically feel pain and sadness in my heart. The why in the hell am I still reading these? I don't know. For some reason that relationship was so traumatic for me that I still want to find out why it happened. I have moved on. But I want to know. I pray that you have nothing but goodness and success in your life from here forward. It took me a decade before I could actually love someone again. Good luck to you. Thank you. We met at college in our 3rd year of undergrad. Man, I'm so sorry. You guys were in marriage counseling for a year before she contacted her AP again. Are you guys also in individual counseling? I understand that you didn't want to hear any words she had to say after you caught her the 2nd time. But why did she cheat the 1st time? Can you guess why she cheated the 2nd time? My philosophy is once a cheater, always a cheater. But, maybe she rationalized it in her crazy mind? Thanks. Both individual and marriage counseling. Cheating is deplorable. There is no reason, and I don't want to know what the rationale was in either case. Anyone can claim a reason for a crime. Doesn't change the fact that they broke the law. Being betrayed in a way like this takes a damn long time to heal. Props to you for getting out. Takes a lot of guts to just walk away from something that is familiar. It gets better, friend. Keep holding your head high and know you did the right thing. Hug those kiddos. Sometimes that's all someone has to keep their sanity when faced with this. Best of luck. Yes. This. The kids are a saving grace. I admire them. So did she ever give the why knowing that it would blow up your marriage? I have desperately wanted to know why, but I cut her off every time she tries to answer. Her answer to that question would be designed solely to make herself feel better. I am no longer in the business of helping her feel good. I'm so sorry for all of your pain. I hope your future becomes peaceful, to find more and more moments of joy, and someday not too far in the future you feel loved. I actually feel a bit of love from responses like yours. You did the right things. Some would argue against snatching the phone mid-text, but I can think of few things more effective at the goal of uncovering the facts in real time. Attempting recovery is your personal choice and immediately ending it when evidence showed them in contact again. You are a success story. Just not the one you had in mind. Thanks. I don't feel like I can offer much in the way of credible advice. But securing money, a lawyer, and a place to live in advance of confrontation was very helpful. Changing passwords was a must. I come here for the life lessons like this. I'm so sorry you had to go through this. How did she meet the AP? I mean the sheer audacity to be nose deep in a text thread with her AP within arm's reach of you. Man. She worked at the same company as he did before she changed careers. You did good for yourself after finding out. And then you gave it another shot and you found out she never kept her word and you did the right thing at the end. Did you regret reconcile with her? No. No regret. It made the decision to leave crystal clear. Sad face, sad face, sad face, sad face, virtual hug. I caught my husband asking co-workers for nudes and claims he never took it further, but I'm never going to really know and don't even know if we will work out again. I completely sympathize with you. Ouch. My best to you, sister. Thanks for the hug. To this day, I have no idea what compelled me to snatch her phone from her hand mid-text. I had never suspected a thing, at least consciously. A look of horror immediately came over her, so I darted into the other room with the phone and locked the door. I think we betrayed spouses somehow, know subconsciously that something is off even if it is not yet clear on a conscious level. Thank you for sharing your story and your strength. I wish you and your children the best. Thanks. I wish you the best. You are right. After that many years, our subconscious thinking is probably a reliable compass. How much custody do you have of the kids? What did your families and mutual friends say about the cheating and divorce? Will you ever get married again? My son is 19 and is at college in Boston. He's doing a summer internship in NYC. He lives with my ex in that he has a room there and that's where his mail goes. My daughter is 15 and calls mom's house her home. However, the house is in a boring part of the suburbs and I live in a funky part of the city filled with action. So she loves to spend weekends here with her friends. So then what did your families and friends say? Did you expose her cheating? I certainly don't lie when asked why we split, but I'm not one to broadcast. Does your ex have to pay you your part of the equity in the house? Do the kids know the real reason you divorced? I don't speak much about it with friends or family. My brother is a saint. He was royally pissed but somehow kept his composure while she stayed with him for the first few days. Haven't thought about a romantic relationship, much less marriage. Focused on building good platonic relationships and improving myself. Knowing where I am psychologically, the only type of person who would get into a relationship with me is not someone who has all of their screws tight. Has she tried to get back with you? Is she still remorseful? Also, how bad was the divorce process? I cut contact the moment that she starts to discuss feelings, so I don't know. We have what I believe to be a fairly complex financial situation. Even with that, the divorce process has gone reasonably well. And what happened to her, if you don't mind me asking? As for any other who might hear this tale, if you are ever cheated, always do two things. Divorce and take as much as you can and expose the cheater to your entire social circle. Even if you want to try and reconcile, do those two things. The reason is simple: there must be consequences, painful and brutal consequences, to shatter the cheater life. Only then will they understand the depth of their selfish actions. If you just reconcile without giving them massive consequences, it is sure a matter of time before they cheat again or restart the affair. The lack of consequences will validate their selfishness in their subconscious and they will believe they can do it again and get away with it. Don't mind at all. She seems to be doing okay. Lives in the house, has a job. She treats the kids well, which is most important. I don't know how she feels. I don't want to know. Anytime she brings up feelings or emotions, I interrupt to tell her that it's none of my business. Sorry to hear you went through I just can't understand why it's so hard to be transparent and just honestly tell so about emotional issues, unmet needs, etc. I would rather be hurt by a clean breakup than being lied to. Agreed. If she thought I wasn't a good husband, why not just move on? Additional info: she cheated and I thought we were a success story. Post-separation. This certainly got far more of a response than I expected. First, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to read, respond, upvote, or award. A special thank you for responses that related similar experiences and for those that validated and empathized. I am certainly not alone in this. I have read every comment. I'm fairly new to Reddit, so I am pasting the original below and additional information below that. I'm compelled to provide this to try to answer some of the more common questions. Additional info. SDBXW. Her income will be sufficient to support her. I pay part of the mortgage on the house and monthly support for our daughter. We are selling the house when my daughter graduates from high school and splitting the equity. That will be enough for her to make a down payment for a new place to live. She will be fine. I have no idea if she has a relationship with AP. She may be dating him or someone else, but probably hasn't had any men at the house. Our daughter would have told me. A fair partner. She met him at work before she switched careers. He had no interaction with our social circle. I vaguely recall meeting him at one of her former employer's holiday parties. On the first D-Day, SDBXW told me that he was single. I didn't bother to ask after the second D-Day. I don't participate in much social media, but I have searched the web for him. Nothing that indicates his relationship status comes up. If I find out that he is in a relationship, I will certainly tell his significant other. Kids. Our son is in a rigorous program at college and has a very demanding internship in the summer. When he is in the area, which isn't very often, he splits his time between us and enjoys staying on the boat some nights. I live in the entertainment district downtown, so, when he's in town, he often crashes through my door late at night on the weekends with his buddies to sleep it off. I enjoy making a big breakfast for the boys the following morning. Our daughter lives with her mom during the week and with me on the weekends. She is an athlete with a fair number of friends, so most of my weekend days are spent driving her to practice or to a friend's house. She likes to invite friends to my place for a night on the town and a sleepover. Again, breakfast is fun. They both know that mom was unfaithful. I don't bring it up. They haven't asked many questions and I prefer to leave it that way. Both have had a few sessions with a therapist and the therapist told me that she doesn't think additional sessions are needed. The divorce. We have taken a collaborative approach. We are splitting things fairly equally. We won't have any financial obligations to each other once our daughter graduates from high school and the house is sold. Some of our assets are difficult to place a value on and the complexity of that has prolonged the process. Why did she cheat? This question haunts me. My heart desperately wants an explanation. It just wants an explanation to make sense of it all. Just, why? Was I not enough? Was I not satisfying in the bedroom? Is my dad bod a turn off? Did I say or do the wrong things? Was I not attentive enough? Is AP just better? What's wrong with me? I could go on and on. My mind, on the other hand, knows a few things. To me, there is no valid reason to cheat. No one forced her to remain in the marriage. She could have filed divorce papers, told me, and then jumped right into a relationship with someone else. Not much could have stopped that. I believe that she wanted the benefits of something new without the cost of losing what she had. I'm not sure if she assumed that I had stopped checking phone records or if she, on some level, wanted to be caught. What I do know is that by listening to her supposed reason for cheating, I would be allowing her to justify her actions. I am not willing to give her the comfort that comes with justification. There is no reason she could give that wasn't BS unless she just said I'm selfish and I don't care who gets hurt as long as I get what I want. I wouldn't give her opportunity to justify it either. I believe that she wanted the benefits of something new. Probably. Another victim of the tingles. The excitement of someone new coupled with knowing how wrong it is a potent force. The cheaters will say stuff like he just made me feel alive, even blaming the betrayed as too straight and narrow. But I don't think anyone really knows why they have been betrayed, probably because, in a lot of cases, the cheater doesn't know themselves. But to ask the question to them as to why is a pointless question, because you are never sure if the answer you get is anywhere close to the truth. It's one of the few times where ignorance is better. You are doing it all right, really sorry your marriage ended so poorly, but you have nothing to be ashamed of, your stance on knowing is absolutely perfect, do not let her justify anything. I doth tip my hat, sir. You are a shining example. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.